Good afternoon and welcome to Orphan Car Garage. My name is John. I'm the owner here at Orphan Car Garage, and I'm located in Abington, Massachusetts, which is about 30 minutes south of Boston. We pride ourselves here to be the purveyor of affordable classic cars. The car here in front of us is exactly that, and we'll get to the price in a few moments. First of all, I just want to introduce to you this car that needs very little introduction. It, of course, is the Cadillac Allante. This particular car is from its rarest year of all production, 1992, with just over 1,900 built that year. Why so little? Well, if you knew a little bit of the backstory of this car, you'd understand why they didn't sell quite up to the standard that General Motors expected it to when it was introduced in 1987. Cadillac was looking for a new halo car, something to compete with the likes of Mercedes and Jaguar with their two-seated roadsters that were becoming very popular here in the States, and Cadillac wanted a car to compete with those. So they commissioned the designers and the coach builders at Pininfarina in Italy to come up with this design, which they did. And the upper echelon at General Motors went along with it, and this car was built by Pininfarina. Well, the body was crafted and built by Pininfarina in Italy, and the cars were flown to the U.S. via specially equipped Boeing 747s for final assembly in Detroit, Michigan. It was known as the world's longest assembly line, and as Cadillac sometimes called it, the Allante Air Bridge. So as you can imagine, that was not an inexpensive procedure. These cars stickered for close to $60,000 when they were new in the late 1980s, early 1990s. Outstanding. Unbelievable. Just over 20,000 cars were produced in its entire model run from 1987 to 1993. And again, like I mentioned before, 1992, like the car here in front of us, was its lowest production year of just over 1,900. So that makes this car rather special. And I think 1992 is probably my favorite year for the car, as a lot of the bugs from the earlier cars have been worked out. And yes, I'm going to say it, it was pre-North Star. So this car has the tried and true and reliable, easy to service Cadillac 4.5 V8. This is not a North Star engine. That would come in its final year, 1993. But that's for another day. This car is a very original 76,000 mile car in a real pretty and original paint, champagne metallic, which rarely see on Allantes, with a nice complementing natural beige interior. Those Recaro style seats, showing just some minor wear, and we'll get to that in a minute. As we go around the car, you'll see that it's not a perfect example, which is going to make this car super affordable. We've brought it up to a level where it's very turnkey and very reliable, a very nice driver. But, you know, there's some pimples there in the paint on the just above the left rear tire, as is on the right rear. A couple bubbles right there, a little bit of an indentation at the lower panel there, just forward the right rear wheel, a couple of scratches, but overall very, very nice. The car has fairly recent Yokohama tires, so there's no worries there. Nice wheels, nice chrome. There's a crack here in the front filler on the front bumper. Just a really nice, good looking, sharp driver. Soon to be classic, or current classic. These cars were super over-engineered. The car has a black soft top. This car does not have a hard top. The hard top became an option in 1990. 1987 through 1989, you got both tops. But I think to make the car a tad more affordable, they made the hard top an option in 1990. This car is not equipped with a hard top, only the soft top, which works fine. Even that is over-engineered. There's two power operations to the top. It's partly manual, partly power. Over the top, no pun intended, but it all works fine. That power pull down works as it should, which many times it doesn't. And the power release here at the front header on the windshield works as it should. Obviously the top is down. The car does have the two side covers, which a lot of times on Allantes are missing. These need to be installed, or should be installed after the boot comes down, just to give the car a nice look. There's the soft top there, folded. I have pictures of the top in the up position on my website, orphancargarage.com. As we go into the car, I'll explain to you that this car was a snowbird. Its original owner lived in Maryland. and use the car in Maryland in the summertime, and then in the wintertime would take the car to Florida. So this car was a proverbial snowbird. That being said, the Florida sun did some damage. Most notably, that glove box door. There's even a little bit of a burn there on the top from that hot Florida sun. And the very front portion of the dashboard is warped just at the windshield defroster grill. Also, the sun visors could use replacements. The good news is there's a lot of club support and part support for these cars. If you want to bring it to the next level, we've done a bunch of stuff on this car, and I'll get to that. But we didn't take it to the top level. We're letting the next person do it. Winter's coming. I need to clean out some of my older inventory, and this is one of the cars. I bought this car because I love them, and this particular car I felt bad for, and I thought it needed some love and a second chance on life. So we've done some things to it, but we're not doing everything to it. I don't fully restore cars here at Orphan Car Garage. I leave that to the next person should they decide. But you know what? The car is very, very presentable as is. A little bit of a seam separation here on the passenger side. And I'll get out before I forget and show you the driver's side seat. Some typical wear there on the side bolster and some minor cracking here on the lower bolster. But overall, pretty nice. A lot of these interiors got trashed. Nice carpeted area behind the seat with its own mat. We have the original floor mats for the front carpet as well, and I'll show you that when we get into the trunk. Power windows, memory seats. The power door locks do not work. Everything else pretty much works in this car other than that, which is pretty amazing considering how much went into this car and how many electronics there are. Car starts up and runs nice. Good morning. It's monitoring its systems. The temperature goes up and down as it should, and it works as it should. You put the system in auto and it does everything it's supposed to. The air conditioning could blow a little colder than it does, but the heat works fantastic, and I know that for a fact because I drove the car the other day when it was in the 30s. The radio works. The original Symphony Sound radio fires right up nicely. The antenna goes up as it should. Car has an optional, I believe, CD player and cassette. So there's a cassette deck and a CD player here in this car. Full digital instrumentation. You could get analog gauges, but those are super rare in the Allante. 76,905 miles. Everything looks good. Okay, so you notice check info center, and info center says the coolant level is low. Well, guess what? The coolant level's not low. Remember what I said about these cars being over-engineered? This car is over-engineered. There was a sensor in the original radiators, in the tank of the radiator, that measured the coolant level. The replacement radiators that you get today do not have an acceptance of the sensor. So radiators are now being installed in these cars many times that don't allow the sensor to be plugged in. This is the case. This car appears to have had a radiator replaced, and because of that, we've got a low coolant level when the coolant level is not low. You can rely on the temperature gauge to let you know if you've got a cooling system error. Again, these cars were incredibly over-engineered with sensors to monitor sensors times 2. Got that cool Pininfarina emblem. Shift handle's a little worn. Parts supplier in Florida, AlanteSource.com, has rebuilt replacements. I'm assuming they probably have replacement sun visors because those could be used to be replaced as well. This car is not perfect, but will be completely affordable. Real quick here because I don't want to take up too much of your time. There's that real smooth running Cadillac 4.5 V8. So when we got this car, it had some oil leaks, and we took care of those. We got some valve cover gaskets and installed those. We also installed a new oil pan gasket, changed the oil, and put a new set of AC Delco spark plugs in it. Nice running car. Now, I mentioned that the power door locks don't work. The air conditioning is lackluster. The other thing that doesn't work so well, or doesn't work at all, is the release for the trunk. In this console is the hidden buttons to release both your gas door and the trunk. Oh, while I'm here, look at the ashtray. Never smoked in. This car was very well kept for a large majority of its life. So here you have a release for the trunk, which doesn't work on this car. and a release for the fuel door, which does work, thankfully. And that fuel door is cleverly disguised down here in the quarter panel. Kind of interesting. When I first got one of these cars a few years ago, I couldn't find the gas door or the gas door release. So again, there's your digital readout, your command center, which all works. And I'm going to go to the trunk now. The power pull down works as it should. I'm going to display that when we close the trunk. It comes with a car cover. This is what I would call an indoor car cover. It also comes with the original factory front floor mats, which are in really nice shape. The trunk overall is very, very clean. Very, very clean. Excellent, actually. Car, again, I can tell this car was loved by its original owners, which had the car long term. I got a clean Carfax on the car too, which I'd be happy to forward anybody. And of course, we've got that power pull down on the trunk that operates to spec. So one last quick walk around on this rare 1992 Allante. As you can see, very presentable. You'll be the envy of all your neighbors and friends. You can bring one of your most favorite friends with you and maybe squeeze one of your not so favorite friends in the back. Orphan Car Garage pricing on this car. We need to move this soon. Winter's coming. I hate to say it, but that time of year is coming again. I need to clean out the inventory. I don't want a lot of cars sitting outside. I try to keep most, if not all, my cars inside. This car is inside, but I do have some stuff outside that I want to bring inside. So I need to make room. This car needs to go. We've done what we can to it. The next owner can bring it to the next level. But in the meantime, it's an extremely well-sorted turnkey driver. You would not be ashamed to own this car. Orphan Car Garage pricing on this car, $5,900. $5,900 for this rare 1992 Cadillac Allante Roadster. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. Check this car out on the web, orphancargarage.com. There's a lot of pictures of the car there you can find. And of course, like and subscribe to me here on YouTube. I appreciate everybody's support. We always have fun, cool, affordable cars to profile here. You've probably figured that out already. Everything from the 1950s to the 1990s. If it's affordable, I'm going to probably have it here. Keep in touch. If I don't talk to you, I'll see you before the holidays. Wish you and your family a happy holidays and a prosperous 2024.